mute you for a second.
That's fine. Okay, well, he's muting me. Good lord, love a duck and gravy all around. I am finally awake and moving on this lovely, what is this, Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday, August 6th. And I kind of apologize, last episode didn't go out in a timely manner, because it's going out pretty much tonight, and then this one's going to be going up tomorrow. I've been preoccupied myself with job hunting and things like that, especially with the YouTube Adpocalypse getting worse. So I have made it a mission to be able to actually pay my bills instead of being self-reliant on YouTube. So that's kind of screwed up my process for making a lot of videos and other things.
You realize you were muted the whole time.
I wasn't talking to you. I'm recording on my end, boyo.
Oh, incidentally, I'm checking the mail, and I have a favorite hero box now.
Uh-oh.
Hero box has Gotham City Sirens.
Oh, yes. I remember seeing something about that, yeah.
They just saw it. They just started. I'm like, oh, and here's me trying to do good by saving money.
Yeah.
Because I got the silver first Harley Quinn one and the second Harley Quinn one. As far as I know, the last one, I got the gold. So I think the first one was just normal because this just says that it's a regular mystery box. But as if it wasn't obvious, yes, of course I'm going to buy this fucking thing.
Well, of course. Why wouldn't you?
I love Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, and a little bit of fun. I was talking to Mom. My parents are up at Bemidji and Itasca looking at the Boundary Waters. If anybody has a bucket list, you may want to add this one. You can cross the Mississippi River on foot. It is little more than a trickle at this. It's maybe like 8 or 10 feet wide, but it's not even 2 feet deep.
Yeah.
So you can literally walk across the Minnesota River / Mississippi River. So it's kind of neat. I hadn't done it since I was in like kindergarten, and I was supposed to go, but things went south. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was talking to her, and she did not know that Arlene Sorkin was the model and the voice of Poison Ivy.
You mean Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn. She fell in love with them when Arlene Sorkin and another oddball, John Delancey, were a couple on, can't remember which...
I almost want to say
soap opera.
I want to say
that's the one I was thinking of, was Days of Our Lives.
Oh, God. Now I actually have to check this shit. God damn it.
But
I try not to think about late 70s, early 80s.
This is the John Delancey character that loved her so much that he made a robot of her, if I'm not mistaken. It was really fucked up, and especially for daytime soap opera.
Oh my God, we were right. It was Days of Our Lives. Wow.
Yes, for having no life. Actually, I watched when I lived with my folks in the 90s, and because when we lived in Montevideo, we were far away from everyone. I used to watch soap operas with Mom.
Okay, and so. I will admit this myself is, especially growing up and on like sick days from school and other things, and even still to this day, kind of, just because it's one of those weird, like, dirty fucking secrets, habits I keep in the closet of, I still occasionally watch, like, General Hospital. I don't know why I do. It's just like, oh, it's General Hospital. You know how everyone makes that joke about, oh, when you were homesick, you were watching Maury Povich, or oh God, I'm forgetting her name.
Ricky Lake.
Ricky Lake, but before Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse Raphael.
Oh, Sally, I remember her.
Yes, yeah. Sally Jesse and all a lot. It's like no. It's like if I want to watch drama, I'm gonna just watch the worst drama on TV, soap operas.
I felt not Victor Kiriakis, the other one, the other Victor with the long white mustache and white hair. That was good too, but that Victor, and I can't remember if they ever did say his name. This is where I wish I had Mom with me, because he was another one that was really had Stefano. Oh, who was it? Stefano was his foil.
Oh God.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, and yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh God.
Victor Kiriakis and Stefano Demera.
Yeah. Okay. So this should tell you. This should tell you we've actually seen. See, I've actually met Tony Geary from General Hospital. That was an interesting experience.
That I like. So who's the younger looking Victor?
Oh God. Who? I can't remember anymore. I can't remember. It's like the other Victor was. See, you're talking more Days of Our Lives. I watch more General Hospital.
He's on the cover of Soap Opera Digest just about every week, and he's a very good-looking man for his age. He is not. Considering I was watching him in the late 80s, early 90s, aside from graying, he doesn't look like he's aged very much.
Well, look at Tony Geary. I mean, he's kind of pickled, but he's holding it pretty well too, which is kind of scary. Okay. Let's get back to what we were actually talking about, Arlene Sorkin, before we digressed into a weird tangent about soap operas. Fuck.
We were talking about something, and she was talking about the fact that she had seen something for Harley Quinn that she wanted to get, but at the time she didn't know if it was the right character. And she was talking, isn't that the one from, the cartoon we used to watch? And I'm like, yeah, she was voiced by Arlene Sorkin. And my mom's eyes just lit up, and she's like, what? I love her. I'm like, yeah, we need to get you to watch it. I told her, because of my history with TV, I told her to watch The Joker's Favor, because the other thing I grew up on was, The Hospital, Saint Elsewhere.
Oh God, let's really not talk about Saint Elsewhere, all right?
The reason why I'm mentioning is because of Ed Begley Jr.
Okay.
Who was the third person in there, who's Saint Elsewhere and Transylvania 5000 and stuff. If she wanted to listen to something, to get into something that she'd know all the people, she knows Mark Hamill, she knows Begley Jr., and she knows Arlene Sorkin. So I'm like, here, watch this one. You will recognize at least 3 of the voices.
Yeah.
So my mom is now more of a Harley Quinn fan, because she just absolutely loves that lady. Has Arlene ever voiced her after that?
After what?
After the animated series.
Yes.
Because she isn't doing it anymore.
She's been voicing. Okay, luckily I actually opened up the Wikipedia page on this shit. Let's see here. Hang on.
Go ahead.
She voiced Harley Quinn in Mask of the Phantasm, Return of the Joker. She voiced Harley Quinn in, let's see here, The New Adventures of Batman, Superman, The Animated Adventures, Gotham Girl, Static Shock, Justice League.
She was Justice League? When was Harleen in Justice League?
2 episodes. She voiced Harley Quinn in DCUO Online, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Vengeance, Adventures of Batman and Robin.
I have to look up her IMDb. I don't remember Harley Quinn being in Justice League.
She is also, again, now I'm opening up the IMDb for, let's see her. Hang on. DC Universe Online, The Last Laugh. Let's see here.
It's derp. The ones with the Royal Flush Gang.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so good. I love the series.
Yeah.
She was Harley in DC Universe Online. Well, was/is. I don't.
Yeah, she's still doing it, I think. That and actually this leads up to
2011, but that's when it came out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and this brings up a good point. I want to bring up right now is actually there is a new Batman movie coming up. With
Harley Quinn, yeah.
With Harley Quinn, and it's not Arlene Sorkin voicing her, and it's very obviously not Arlene Sorkin. And I'm not.
Is it? Tara Strong does it on occasion.
It's not Tara Strong. No, I think it is Tara Strong. It doesn't sound like Tara Strong's impersonation of Harley and Quinn, and I'm not sure how I feel about this because it's like, what direction did we go here, and what the actual fuck?
She was in Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes.
So as a random voice.
And she was yeah.
I know which voice Arlene and Mark Hamill did perform together, not as the Joker and Harley Quinn. When he was getting the award for Humanitarian of the Year, she was his receptionist. If you listen to the line when she interrupts the thing, it sounds a lot like Harley Quinn.
Anyways, I love how we have spent like good 12 minutes talking about Arlene Sorkin and...
Well, that was unexpected because I just was checking my mail before we started and happened to see this. So, which is cool. Actually, that shirt, I'm pretty certain I have that shirt already. Oh, well.
Ooh. Well, he's... Well, here's an interesting thing, is actually Christopher Eccleston. Since I'm wanting to break away from this rut we put ourselves in talking about Arlene Sorkin and Days of Our Lives and shit like that. I want to move away from that for a few minutes.
And I know exactly where you're going to because I read this earlier.
Are you sure about that? Well, probably, yeah. Is actually a Christopher Eccleston of the modern incarnation of Doctor Who. My favorite Doctor of the modern incarnation of Doctor Who.
Certainly the most sensibly dressed, that's for sure.
Most assuredly. Christopher Eccleston actually happens to have weighed in on Jodie Whittaker's on Jodie Whittaker becoming the Doctor. Okay, I apologize right now. I'm still kind of waking up. My brain isn't fully online, so I'm gonna be stumbling a little bit here. I need more caffeine. But no, I think it's kind of interesting. Is he weighs in such a way. And let's see if I can actually get this clip to play through this. Thank you, Twitter.
And my wingman today, I'm thrilled to say, is Christopher Eccleston. Before you tell us who you're chatting to, I can't have a doctor in the house and not ask you your thoughts on the newly appointed Doctor Who, Ms. Jodie Whittaker.
I'm just delighted it wasn't Clive Anderson. There was a rumour. She's working class, she's northern, what can go wrong?
Exactly, beautiful words.
And there we go. And so, it's actually kind of interesting to see the Christopher Eccleston, hear Christopher Eccleston kind of weigh on that. And I like that he said very approvingly that, she's working class, she's northern, what can go wrong?
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
Yeah, it is very much kind of the identity that Christopher Eccleston built when he was the Doctor. Is every planet's got a north, things like that. So I really enjoy that. It's almost like they're trying to stick with a theme. Okay, so I don't think we've really taken time to talk about this at all.
What?
I forgot what I was about to say. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. See, this is what happens when I trying to wake up, and I'm like, all right, let's do a show because I've got to work tonight. Let's do a show. I've got to work tonight. And I'm throwing notes out real quick. Tag on Jodie. There we go. And it's kind of nice to see, especially since Christopher Eccleston has kind of been kind of touch and go with the Doctor Who fan base, that he is very approving and just very short and to the point with his acceptance and approval of the new Doctor. It's kind of interesting to see that, given he got the short end that we have talked about so often.
Well, that was his doing, but it's understandable why he did it.
There was a lot of factors in there, but yeah, to a certain extent. So yeah,
I would love to have him do audiobooks or audio series.
I would love to see him stumble on the screen with Jodie Whittaker. That'd be fun. It'll never happen. But
the most sensibly dressed Doctor next to the first female Doctor? Yeah, that would be cool.
One looks like a U-boat captain. The other one is, well, a woman.
I almost said Christopher Eccleston. Sorry.
Yeah, and
it was right there. I would have been ashamed of myself if I didn't go there.
Yeah. And here's something that's kind of weird is I'm avoiding YouTube drama because it's fucking stupid. And yes, this episode is going to skip rails a lot. Just fucking tighten your sphincter and hold on to your butts, kids, because we're going to be skipping these rails like we're drifting a train. And there is a couple of YouTubers I do follow around because I either because they contrast each other quite well, or I think one has a really good point and the other one has a really good point, and they're both fucking idiots or shit like that. But there's some weird dramedy that goes on in just whoa, okay. I didn't do enough drugs in my life to see that picture right now.
Well, you're young. You have time yet.
No, I don't. I quit doing shit a long time ago.
Yeah, but you're still young, so don't worry about it.
But occasionally, when I see the ignorant masses or the cow mentality, the herd mentality starting to forget its place of just sitting there and watching, and occasionally going, oh, I disagree, or I agree, or fuck you all, you should burn in a fiery pit of undead babies or things like that. I have to occasionally sit there and just like I kind of lean on the fourth wall, as it were, and go and I will look at a YouTuber and go, okay, so for clarification, this this and this, and it's just a beautiful little just quick back and forth conversation that people ignore, but it's just like, okay, there is proof and evidence on a public realm that this is the actual clarification of the situation. So when the rest of the cows are herded into the bullpen for being stupid, I can sit there, I can keep prancing in the fields going, haha, bitches. Because it's just so fucking weird. It just really is so weird to see the evolution of the herd mentality online. Because humans themselves, and you've seen this, you have seen this, I know you have seen this, where people will start dogpiling on someone for saying really stupid shit, or for going after somebody else who's famous for them saying stupid shit, and then they go, wait, okay, maybe I was in the wrong, and then back off. So it's really an interesting thing to see, and in this particular case is a local Washingtonian. I say local Washingtonian of Mr. Repsion, Him and me have the odd dialogue back and forth. And he's doing this video exposing a very interesting YouTuber. And anyone who cares about looking this up can just look this shit up on Twitter and whatnot. And I just literally leaned in to ask a simple question so it could be out in public and to be viewed. I feel someone should ask for clarification. The vid you're working on started a good bit before this person left, correct? And his response is, "Yep, it's not an expose video. We've hit a point where being critical of one's claims equals exposing him. It's a juvenile thought process." And that's just kind of something I want to throw out there. Is he is very much right. Is too often we see this from the alt-right and the alt-left, and from, the liberals and the conservatives, and from pro-LGBT and anti-LBGT and back and forth, is sometimes when you are being critical of someone's ideals or their presentations or things they are putting out there, too many people are far too often likely to sit there and go, "Oh, blah, blah, blah," and scream nonsense and bullshit when you are literally sitting there saying, "No, I am being critical of what they are putting out there. This is what they put out there. That contradicts exactly with what they just previously said. So I am going to be attacking this argument and the statements they have put out there because it's fucked up." And I think a lot of people are still engaging in a knee-jerk reactionary ideology and are not going to take a moment to step back and go, "Wait, am I about to say something retarded? Yes, I should probably not say that and find something better to say." Too many people are not engaging in this ideal, this fundamental process of critical thinking of, is what I'm about to say retarded? Yes? Let's find a better way to say this. Is it not retarded? No? Okay. Is it getting my point across? No? I need to rephrase this. I think it's something we have actually encountered, and both me and Rendell have argued about this. I think a recent case of where we argued about context matters and bad presentations, whatnot, is the John Barrowman thing.
Oh.
It is one example of a more recent issue where you and me have had a back and forth about presentation and context matters.
Yeah, and mostly came down to, I think he just was so thrilled with it that he didn't think what he was doing. Which, I mean, hell, I can't get on people for that. I'd be getting on myself all the time.
You would need to be able to bend really well to get on yourself like that. Oh, sorry.
Not at my age, I wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure with enough lube and a couple of body contortions, we could do something for you, sir.
Now, keep in mind, I have to be able to be bent back.
I said, enough lube and body.
That's where the whole plan falls apart there.
Enough lube
and
I
just figured out that my dark chocolate candy bar melted into one solid piece. That sucks.
Hey, at least we're all
so much for trying to eat healthier.
Hey, we're all learning something a little new and interesting. It's like this morning I learned $30 will pretty much fill up my gas tank. And that I've learned...
Yeah, that's about decent size. How much is gas out there?
$2.80 for the cheap gas.
Man, I'm not going to complain anymore.
Yeah.
It's about $2.20 here.
Yeah.
It costs me from empty to full about $26, $27.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, see, but $30 pretty much filled up my tank. Mind you, I am driving a minivan. I love how I'm transitioning away from like a weird fucking tangent where I wasn't making any sense.
How long does that last you?
Actually, given on a half a tank of gas, I was able to get to work for a week, just driving back and forth, taking a rather at first long route and then trimming that route up. taking the back roads and things like that.
If I fill up my car at the start of the month, and just a normal month, no real theater or anything, I can have that last the entire month. If I'm working at Fun, I usually need about 2 tanks a month.
You are also traveling less of a distance than I am, because I'm traveling. What is it? I was actually checking my odometer on this one. I'm actually traveling about 8 miles a day, and that's in a straight line.
Oh, when I'm working at Fun, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying when I'm working, I usually go through about 2 tanks a month.
Yeah, but if I can keep it down to about 1.5 tanks, 2 tanks a month, that's not bad. Especially
2 tanks a month is not bad at all, especially when you're getting income, regularly.
Yes. Well, yeah. 2 paychecks a month, baby. Well, and that actually leads me to an interesting point. And hang on, let me catch up on my notes real quick. Ooh. Knee-jerking cow herds of nonsense. I like that subtitle there. I like that one.
Send me your notes when you're done, and I'll just paste them into the podcast.
There we go. But okay, so what was I just talking about?
Don't look at me.
God damn it! That's why I keep you around to help me remember when I forget what I'm saying. Fuck. I was talking
Dude,
about,
I can't remember what I'm saying when I'm saying it.
I was just talking about travel.
And the funny thing is, he forgot because he stopped to write down notes.
There we go. Adpocalypse. Okay,
what?
There we go.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, and this kind of an interesting point is with the Adpocalypse, and for people who don't know what the Adpocalypse is, there is enough material. There is enough material out there for people to dissect and look at and talk about and bitch about and everything else about the Adpocalypse, as long as you don't reference, as long as you avoid the more dramatic channels. I highly advise, if you want to watch something about the Adpocalypse, go to Mundane Matt, go to Philip DeFranco. Those are 2 good, very neutral, very almost unbiased, but very honest about where their opinion is and where there is fact about the matter. And yeah, so the YouTube Adpocalypse is going into its 3rd phase.
What is this?
Okay, so for a quick recap of the decap, since I'm going to have to do a quick recap of the decap.
I watch YouTube on my computer, so I don't ever see ads.
Okay, so the Adpocalypse is where content creators are making fucking nothing. A great example is actually Mundane Matt, who I follow, and again, he's a fellow Washingtonian, and I like to chat with him on Twitter and whatnot online. And for a video he put up, what is it, yesterday, day before, something in the neighborhood of 10,100 views, which, before the Adpocalypse started, would have been about a $500 to $1,000 video. He got $15 off of it.
Wow.
That is where the Adpocalypse has come from, and that is a great example right there. Is that analytic data is how the Adpocalypse would take 10,000 view video, and even accounting for ad blockers or YouTube Red or things like that, that would have been a $500 to $750 video for 10,000 plus views to $15.
That's why, and I know a lot of people a while ago were talking about how dare people who are on Twitch or on YouTube start up Patreons. And Jim Sterling actually proved this, over a year ago, when he started his and he became just a full-time person.
Yeah.
Is he never monetizes his stuff because he doesn't have to anymore.
No.
His income comes from his Patreon, like Two. Two, I don't think monetizes anything.
I think the odd video he'll throw an ad on, but in general, no, he doesn't.
I think the only one he's done is when he does like creator, like that space one that he did, where the creator said, "I like you. I want you to have the first view." I think he did it there, but yeah, it's going to be to the point that YouTube is going to kill itself because people will go on Patreon, and Patreon, you can probably find a way to host and post your videos there. You don't need to post them on YouTube. And they're either that or people will just post to YouTube and they won't turn on monetization. So, which, I mean, the few times I've done it, I don't monetize anything anyway. So, but I know a lot of people were making a living on that. So,
yeah, well, and quite a few people have been, a lot of large YouTubers were surviving off of the money they were making on YouTube. And a lot of them still are making some money. But there has been a massive shift since the Adpocalypse began, of people going to Patreon, going to Twitch, and things like that. That's why big YouTuber like Boogie2988 has moved to Twitch more. And he does have a Patreon, but he does a lot more game streaming and things like that on Twitch. Because, one, he enjoys gaming, and two, it also makes a little bit more money. Not much, but a little bit more. Compared to YouTube. But with YouTube, there is multiple factors for why the Adpocalypse is hitting the way it has. And that, part of that, it was from advertisers pulling out. Part of that is from how the new analytics system is working, and allowing the advertisers to dictate if they want to monetize, if they want to put money to something or to other, ventures. There's also is the video actually, capable within the guidelines of this new system of being monetized. But there is also the factor that one of the biggest advertising firms that pays out money on advertisements was hit by a ransomware attack recently. And they lost a shit ton of money because of that. When the people who pay you for the shit you do lose money, they can't pay you. Now, that's the thing, is a lot of YouTubers forget that no matter where you are, no matter what you do, you are, for all intents and purposes, under whatever state or country or wherever you live, you are an independent contractor that is working with YouTube. You are not an actual employee of YouTube. You are affiliated with their brand, and they happen to throw money at you because you brought in money for them, so they can throw some money at you. But you are not an employee. You are an independent contractor. You can be cut loose and turned to the dogs at any time with no skin off their nose. And a lot of YouTubers didn't get on that bandwagon, didn't understand that mentality. And it's biting them in the ass massively. I'm not going to put examples because there's some examples I can flash to right off the top of my head, but because of the dramatic nature of them, I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not even going to reference them directly in a way. I'm just going to refer to them as them. But these are people who made their sole living and existence off of YouTube. Once the YouTube dollars cut in half and then quarter and then to an eighth of what they were, Then they started going to the Patreon route. Well, because of the demographic of their audience, or because of the nature of their content, some people were not comfortable paying them money through Patreon to keep living the lifestyle that they chose. So now it's kind of, for some YouTubers, now it's kind of becoming, for the last couple of years where they've been making bank off of YouTube, now they actually have to consider getting a real job. Or rather, getting a non-entertainment social media line job where they may have to sit there and go, would you like fries with that?
Or they need to turn to Patreon.
No, that's what I just said, is some of them have already gone to Patreon and are not making the same money at all because of the demographics of their audience, or because of
people who don't have jobs, mainly,
or because of the content they produce. People are not willing to spend money on that when they could watch it for free on YouTube and not worry.
And honestly, I have to chuckle at that for a little bit. The main I wonder if the one thing Twitch would be good to do, because I know Twitch, and I think even Justin TV, when it was around, had import to YouTube. When your stream was done, it automatically imported to YouTube.
Well, no, you can still export to YouTube, but there is problems with that. There's a lot of problems with that because, and even I can mention this because it's happened to me, where some of my streams where I've listened to music, or playing Kingdom Hearts, because they actually have a pop singer and whatnot that does the main theme, and there's copyright and da-da-da. If I, export off of Twitch onto YouTube, it gets dinged for non-monetization. Now, I have to go through a whole process, and I'm still going through this process, to fight and appeal that because it's part of the game. And I made deliberate and purposeful attempts to mute the audio, remove the audio while it was streaming, but you can't completely remove it because it is part of the game. And there's even a disclaimer attached within the game that says, as long as you are playing it and you aren't using this music, you aren't using the music within for background or whatever else, you're good to stream it and whatnot. But somehow I still got dinged by YouTube because of the automated algorithms and systems like that. So that creates a problem. One is not the same as the other. Now, mind you, Twitch has greater restrictions, has greater hurdles to leap through to actually make money off of it. It really does. You have to work a whole lot harder to make money off of Twitch than you do YouTube. But at the same time, the money you make off of YouTube is worth dick all now. So it's kind of interesting. That's why I even though I've been making videos and things like that, I stepped back from that because looking at the Adpocalypse and things like that, I was like, well, okay, this would be great if I could, if I got a big enough fan base or whatever, but this is not a stable, sustainable feature. I need to have a real job. I have a real job. Or what people would view as a real job. Yes, it's a fucking grunt, overnight stalker position at a big box outlet store. That is an evil corporation. Read that however you will. I am not name dropping, and don't you fucking name drop it because it can get me fired. I'm not even joking. It can get me fired.
I have no intention of doing that.
Okay. That's
the only thing I knew you would say, because you got this in between shows, was that you were working.
Yeah. Anyways, but and you had to reply, and I've lost my train. Anyways, so I got a real to the rest of society would be viewed as a real job. So, yes, I can still pay my bills, but I'm going to also have time to also continue working on videos and upgrading my computer and be able to stream more. So I could maybe offset, the having a real job by making extra income off of YouTube and Twitch. I'm approaching it from a grounded and not putting all my eggs in one basket view of the world. And a lot of YouTubers and Twitch streamers and whatnot didn't do that and haven't done that. And so when the money in the well dries up for them, they're going to be in a interesting and a very compromised position. Yes, hello.
I'm listening. This is all you. I don't do streaming and stuff like that. I tried for a while, but I just don't have the quality computer and graphics to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I was about to say, with how your computer is, you can't really do that right now. And it happens.
No.
I mean, shit happens there. So, yeah. Anyways, the Adpocalypse is continuing is really hurting people who didn't think far enough ahead. And it's kind of interesting to see how they are going to react and try to continue to be viable when they have nothing really going. I know I've discussed this with a few people back and forth online, it's always good to have a day job, a confirmed paycheck, and not dependent on, the wiles and the extremes of the, algorithms to pay you. Which is always a good thing to do. Anywho, so what have you been up to, sir? Because I've been working, and I've actually got to make sure my clothes are dry for work here soon.
Not doing too much. Last Friday I was out and ended up taking a tumble on the pavement, so I've scraped my knee up pretty bad. So I'm able to walk, but it's one of those things that I kind of have to be careful with how much I do it because it's right on the knee.
Yeah.
So other than that, I am taking part. I didn't know this is what this was before. I wouldn't have done it. They have a shorts festival, which is apparently judged, which I can't stand acting anyway, and now I'm getting judged for it. But it's a little 10-page thing, so it's maybe 5-10 minutes at the most. I can't even imagine it would be 10 minutes. There's not that much to it. But it's only one performance. So like I've told Mom, it's like, here's how I'm looking at this. If I don't end up liking it, all I have to do is perform it once and it's done. If it sucks, fine. If it's good, fine. But after one, I don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's good. I watched, and it is on YouTube. I was in there live for the Dragget show fireside chat, which I would love if they would say like a month in advance, we're going to have a fireside chat. I would actually try to go. I think that would be so much fun. But I came in and somebody said and I know why they did this now. They said my name and they said, "Hey, Raving Rendell," and they said it in all caps. So then, of course, Alkali sees it and has me put in our address again.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's like... And same thing, it's like they gave us a glowing review, and it's like, has nobody else ever talked about First Squared on a podcast?
Okay, I think it's...
I'm really starting to wonder here.
I think part of it comes down to is I'm a non-furry. You are a furry. You've gone to the convention. I haven't gone to the convention. We both have opinions, and we both kind of sit there and go, well, this is fucking weird. Let's talk about this. I think it's because we are in their level of weirdness.
Oh, yeah. But I had to mention, it's like every time I go to a live stream, somebody will say my name in such a way to get Alkali's attention. And then I have to put the URL in again. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not used to this. This is cool and all, but I'm still not used to this. But so that was cool.
Yeah.
One thing I am going to ask you about.
Oh.
And I need to open something up so I can see how much time it is left. Actually, hold on. I think it is on here. Let us see.
I still need to watch that fireside chat.
It's actually I missed the first part, but it is actually kind of cool. So I did manage to get the MP3 download today because Xander has been forgetting to take the first hour's music off. So I'll download it when the first hour's music is on there, cut it out, and then I have a whole playlist. That's just Dragget show pre-show. So, but then, give it about 3 or 4 days and either he or YouTube will cut it. So the thing, and I was going to do this, but I did it backwards. Anybody who's into Steam, Worms Revolution is on sale.
Oh, yeah.
For $3. So I was going to get a 4-pack, get one for you, 2, and Alkali, but I bought it and now it won't let me get the 4-pack. So, yeah. But it's $3 for the game and it's $5 for the gold edition, which is the game and 1, 2, and 4 DLCs. So, and it's actually quite fun. I'm playing the campaign mode right now. I've gotten past the first 2 parts. The only thing I don't like about the campaign mode is that right now it's the enemy team has 9 worms and I have 4. No matter what happens in the campaign mode, you never get a team bigger than 4. It's like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find ways to go out and do some type of game with it. What I might do is just buy the Worms Revolution 4 times as a gift. It cost me $12 as opposed to 10, but then I could give a key to you and I could give a key to 2 and whatever. But it's 15 hours left, so it's a very nice game. It's just I've gone as far with the campaign as I really can. Again, because now it's 9 against 4, and now the AI is getting hard. So it's like this is fair. But yeah, I was going to try. I don't know when you work though. So
I will actually try to keep you posted up to date with what my schedule will be like. I do have right now. I do have
when you get your schedule updated, so I can kind of work around that.
Yeah, I will try to keep it.
Things which helps.
Yeah, I will try to keep you in the loop on what my schedule is like. Right now, I do have about 3 days off a week. That works. Some people would sit there and go 3 days off a week. Well, you're not making. Well, no, actually, it works to my benefit because by having a 3rd day off, I can work over on a scheduled day. I could work some time over up to 3-4 hours over my scheduled time, and as long as I don't hit over 40 hours a week, I'm all good.
That's what I do. I work 5 days a week, 4 hours a day, but I've been thinking of working 4 hours or 5 hours a day, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Just because then I could put in a half hour and I'd be up to 22 hours. It wouldn't be too bad. It'd be probably 11. Well, it'd be 11 to 4. But I like doing that. And the way I do it is I leave early and get there, about 15, 20 minutes early. And then most of my overtime is coming before my shift. Whereas before, it was like, well, let's go in at, 11 and work until 3 and then try to put in some time after that. I was exhausted. So it's like, fuck it, I'll come in, I'll put maybe 15 to 20 minutes, 15 minutes on either side. And it's actually easier.
Yeah.
But I still haven't heard back from them. I'm hoping, well, I haven't heard back from Social Security either.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
If you want to pick up Worms Revolution, it's $3 until for the rest of the evening.
Hey, there you go. Fucking encoder saying, "Oh, it's overloaded." Yeah, I know. I need more RAM. Shut up, you fucking thing. I don't know what.
RAM do you have?
I'm only running 8 gigs right now. That's all I have. I haven't been able to replace that one chip that went bad. We've gone over this, song and dance quite a lot in the last couple months.
Well, yeah, but we haven't talked about it in quite a while either. So I never know what status things are in over there.
Yeah.
Because until it comes up, we never talk about it.
And I'm also suddenly reminded I need to, I need to, before I go to work tonight, I need to watch, because fuck Game of Thrones. Yeah, you heard me. I said fuck Game of Thrones.
I still haven't watched an episode of that.
The new episode of Rick and Morty comes out tonight. That's what I care more about. I like Rick and Morty. Like Game of Thrones. Okay, so my relationship with Game of Thrones, it comes down to I'm burnt out on these massive, expansive, hardcore, ultra story-driven, multi-angular, deeply intensive fucking bloodbath science or fantasy stories after dealing with so much shit involving Lord of the Rings. Seriously, I played all the Lord of the Ring games. I've watched all the movies, all the extended cuts, I'm going to say that again, all the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings many years ago. And so I'm very burnt out on Lord of the Rings. It's like The Shadow of Mordor is coming out this fall, and I can't really give 2 shits or a good goddamn fuck about it. But
the game?
Yeah, the new Shadow, yeah. Because, it's another Lord of the Rings game. No matter how great the game is, it's another Lord of the Rings game, and I really can't give a fuck anymore. And so when I look at Game of Thrones, it's like, it's another multi-expansive. No, I'm good. I'm going to wait until not Lord of the Rings. I'm going to wait until Game of Thrones, the books and the series are all done before I just watch it and read it. Then it's like, okay, I've done it. Fine. I finally caught on to the bandwagon late because I don't give a shit. But where you get a show like Rick and Morty, which is more my kind of cup of tea. It's got your dirty humor. It's got your, mad scientist, drunken mad scientist dragging his grandson through space and time in the universe on madcap adventures, versus a couple of a royal line engaging in incest and how to fuck each other while they fuck each other. All right, yeah, no, I'm good. I will take the drunken mad scientist in half-an-hour blocks because that's funnier. I can only take my drama quotient can only take so much, and Game of Thrones takes that drama all the way to the. It's a weird balancing act. It's like I can't watch The Walking Dead anymore because they are too much about being dramatic and less about being zombies.
I haven't watched an episode of that either.
There's a certain point. That's why I like Z Nation for as a counterpoint to The Walking Dead. That's why I love Z Nation. Yes, it has its drama. Yes, it has its suspense. But then it does like a dick and fart joke and offsets things. And it doesn't take itself too serious. And that's kind of where I'm at in my life, where it's just like I can't take a show that takes itself too serious, and I can't get too involved in it because I've seen all the drama at this point, and just like, I don't care. I quit. I can't. When a show takes itself too serious, I just can't anymore. I mean, think about the fact that the Game of Thrones had a controversy where there was a impaled fake head of George Bush. That was an actual controversy around the show. Think about that for a fucking second. Okay? And that was an actual something that made tread because of a sideline that no one would have known, made in the commentary track by one of the directors of a specific episode. Then it became a dramatic thing that actually made national news. Are you fucking kidding me? Really?
Well, it shows you the state of news, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it just shows you the state of things in general. Yeah. So I can't. That's why I like a lot of things. I've gotten very hands off because people are taking things way too serious. Why so serious is what it comes down to. And so yeah, fuck Game of Thrones right now. I will watch Rick and Morty. That's just where I'm at. That's why I mean, look at Doctor Who. Doctor Who doesn't take itself too serious, even when it's being serious. Z Nation doesn't take itself too serious because it's from a production company that gave us Sharknado. When a show can take itself serious but still have the jokes in there, okay, you know what? I'm more than likely to watch it. Rick and Morty is
the only zombie show I'm interested in. This because my folks love it. Is iZombie.
Again, and see, I love iZombie. I'm down a season on iZombie right now, but again, it has both drama and comedy, and it knows when to take itself serious, but also knows when to have fun. And that is
very dark humor too.
Yeah, well, and that's also my cup of tea. Is very dark humor. The episode where she was, where she ate a sociopath's brain. He was a contract killer. That was a very dark episode because she liked being she was getting a thrill off being able to disconnect from her emotions and everything else and just do a job. So it opened up a very interesting aspect to the character that we're like, wow, this is kind of interesting. So, that's one thing. That's one thing like about iZombie is a great show. Then you look at like The Flash. The Flash, you can't really take serious until suddenly it's very serious. It's like, wait. When did we go from fun and humor to this guy is being impaled to death? Wait, what? When did we take a left turn and I missed Albuquerque? Z Nation, Viagra zombies, Rick and Morty, bumbling, drunken, sociopathic mad scientist who will, if things go so bad in one universe, he will abandon his family and whatnot and take over the place of his now dead alternate self and just slip right in like putting on a new pair of shoes. But when he gets rejected by by a former flame and lover, he tries to commit suicide because it's like it takes its ups and downs to interesting places all the time. when a show can interject in on itself with its own ideologies of, haha, look at me, I'm funny, oh god, I'm dying inside, but keep looking and laughing and pointing and laughing and pointing and laughing. I mean, that's where the phrase, as they even pointed out in the show, wubba lubba dub dub means help, I'm hurting inside. Is such a great phrase, and unless you watch Rick and Morty, you don't get it. But this has gone on for an hour, and I gotta make sure my laundry is rotated, and I will send you the show notes, and I should probably...
just post them quick in a message on Discord, and I'll put it up. I want to get back. I'm done with Warcraft. The other game, I got into Secret World Legends.
Oh.
It's the exact same start and everything, so I'm hoping that the phone book mechanic, which is probably the neatest thing I've seen in a MMO, is still in there. But aside from the only thing that it is now is it's like MMOs where you pick a class.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are bitching about that. The thing I see, the bad side is you're stuck with those weapons. The good side is that you've seen the opening of Secret World probably by now.
Yeah.
Basically what happens is, instead of going through the whole bee thing in the 4 nights, in between there, you have a tutorial where you pick up your main weapon, go through, you learn how to use it, you learn how to, move and jump and stuff, and then it's just the same game after that. So the good side of it is, when you're doing that fucked up subway thing, which I think they just gave you a bat or something, now when you go through it, you're using the weapons you'll be using for the game. That's kind of nice. So, otherwise, yeah, it looks like it's the same game. So I'm interested to try that now that I'm kind of in a rut with Warcraft, where I'm basically jumping from character to character, doing the character up until getting the class hall, and then just going to the next character.
Oh yeah,
this will give me something else over the course of the week to do when I'm not memorizing.
As a side note to Warcraft, you're gonna really fucking hate this in a minute. The numbers are out for how much AP you're going to need to grind to fully unlock the Relic Crucible thing, Netherlight Crucible for relics and whatnot in your weapon. It is over 217 trillion AP.
Well, it just means I probably won't get it done because I don't care.
However, at the same time, artifact knowledge is going to go up to 55.
That's 15.
Yep.
Well, that's not too bad. That's 30,000. No. I'm trying to remember how much is it 1,000 order resources per?
I don't look at me.
It's probably about 30, and my DK has almost 200,000, so that's fine.
I'm not even gonna do the math right now. My brain's like, nope, don't do it.
My big thing was all done. Alphanon, who's my main, she hit all professions, primary and secondary, are 800. All factions, up until not including Chromie, all factions, including the Army of Legionfall, are exalted. All of the exploration is done. So my main is caught up with what she needs to be. At this point, I'm just waiting for the next expansion now. Unless they give me another rep to go exalted with, which they probably will. That's my big thing. As long as my main has done everything that she can in the expansion, which, again, aside from maybe having a rep on Argus, which wouldn't surprise me, she has. As far as I'm concerned, I've got my rating rep, I've got my rating main, I've got my account main, and they're all done. So now I'm just doing the same thing I was doing in Warlords. Now I'm just working on one character at a time.
Yeah.
It may get to the point that I get it enough. I think there are 4 classes that I don't have at 100. It may be by the end of all this, because I'm sure it will go at least until next summer, that with the rate I'm going, probably by the end of the year, my monk, my demon hunter, and my paladin will be 110 and probably have, well, my paladin is, and will have their class hall titles. So I may actually get, if not the class hall titles, have a full level of all the classes. That'd be nice. I wouldn't mind that. I am not going to be an asshole and go for all of the class hall mounts.
Yeah.
That can fuck right off. That is irritating.
And I think this is a great note to actually end the show on. It's I wouldn't be surprised if somebody actually did this on Pornhub. It's a picture that's circulating around from Rickety Wrecked Rick from Rick and Morty. You see that, Morty? They put some commercial at the start of the video telling you that you can have any woman they want if you follow their guide. Then they show you actors who are paid to have sex with each other. It's a trap, Morty. You're always going to have to pay to sleep with beautiful women. Some of us pay for our lives. It's called marriage. Now stop watching porn, you little piece of shit, and come watch Ball Fondlers.
Yeah, I must be watching the wrong porn. Almost every single ad I've seen is for KY. And it's the same fucking ad, no matter what server I'm on. It's like, as if anybody was going to go out and buy some other lube other than KY or Spunk.
Hey, you know
Hello,
what?
Scott.
You know what? Some of us do buy other lube. Thank you very much. But let's not go into that. Let's wrap up this show and
yeah.
move on before we start admitting to things that we probably shouldn't admit to ever in our lives.
But that I've never used it in my life.
Case in point. So on that note, you know what? I hope everyone has a good week. Has it has pretty much a good week. For anyone watching Game of Thrones, let me tell you that you know, it fucking sucks. Yeah, so there is all of that, and I hope everyone has a good week. And you can follow me around the internet, and ChaosInfintium, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and you can follow him around at Raving Rendell on Twitter and on Facebook and things like that. And God help your soul if you actually follow him around, because he posts weirder shit than I do.
Oh, yeah. All of the stuff, if you're listening to this, look at the show notes. All of our contact info links are there.
Yep. And with that, we will talk to you all later.